Greetings, everyone, and welcome to A Seat at the Table with Larry and Melvin.
How you
I'm
doing,
Melvin,
man? And I'm Larry.
and we're back at you again, and we're excited to be here.
Amen.
Yes, we've had a lot of conversation going on our site, a lot of people emailing, leaving comments, and so we're very excited about that, and we try to answer as many as possible written, and we'll also talk about a little bit of it verbally as well.
That's right. One things that we want people to understand that we want these comments. We want you to send in emails, send us texts. Matter of fact, if you want to reach us by email, it is a seat at the table with WITLNM at gmail.com. Once again, it's a seat at the table with WITLNM at gmail.com. Please send us a message. We'll probably read it on air, and we'll give you our honest opinion, our honest thoughts on the subject. So, yeah, let's just
All right, I'm going to jump right in with, I was watching the interview that Donald Trump did with the, how you pronounce it,
Axio.
Axio on HBO.
That was a great interview.
Oh, my God.
That was a great interview.
That was the most ridiculous thing I ever seen.
I thought it was great because it showed how stupid
More
it is.
specifically, I want to talk about what Trump said about John Lewis.
Yeah.
The interviewer asked President Trump, how does he feel about the legacy, the record, that all the things that John Lewis accomplished? And Trump's answer was, in no uncertain terms, I think he did okay, but he's not the only one who did wonderful things. I mean, that is a disgusting answer from the President of the United States, a sitting president talking about a civil rights icon. That is a disgusting answer. Furthermore, I want to talk about his response. Donald Trump let these words come out of his mouth. Please listen carefully. He said, I have done more for black people than any other president ever, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln. That is the most idiotic, stupidest statement I have ever heard. Donald Trump hates black people.
Yes.
I mean, how can he even fix his lips to say that? Did he forget about Lyndon Baines Johnson, who signed the 1964 Civil Rights Bill, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, Equal Employment Act, Fair Housing Act? I can go on and on and on.
Yep.
I mean, did he forget about the first African American president in this country's history who he's tried to reverse everything that Obama has accomplished? Did he forget about that?
Yep.
So you tell me, how can he have done more for black people than any other president? I mean, is he drinking?
You want to answer? I'm gonna give you the same answer I always give. He's full of shit. He's gonna tell you, Trump is full of smoke and mirrors. Trump is gonna say something, and then he leaves it for his people to come behind him and say, well, what he meant was, and what he was really trying to say.
No, he said exactly what he meant. And I couldn't come to grips with how this man could really let those words come out of his mouth. It's just ridiculous.
This whole administration has been ridiculous from the onset. I had the biggest crowds. I had the biggest inauguration crowds. I had
But yet we have the pictures to show the distance between the crowds. I mean,
you also have, he started the birther movement against Barack Obama, talking about Barack Obama was born in Kenya. You also have the situation where he was talking about how the Obamagate, which it was funny to me, is that it went no further than that whole day. You will all find out soon, and we're still waiting to find out what Obamagate was.
We got fine people on both sides.
Of course.
I mean, Charlottesville, Virginia.
Of course.
I mean, so how can he say he's done more for black people than any other president since Abraham Lincoln?
Because he's lying. The simple, easiest version of it.
No, that's more than lying.
It's not delusion.
It's stupidity.
We passed that ship has sailed a
It's
long.
stupidity.
That ship sailed about a year or two ago. When he came into his, you're looking at the same president who came into his election talking about Mexicans are rapists, Mexicans are drug dealers,
Yep.
and then when he was pushed
Oh,
on
there's
it,
so much stuff I had forgot about that.
exactly, he had, when he was pushed on it, what did he say? They're not sending their best. This is the same president said, I'm going to build a wall, and who's going to pay for it? And the crowd screams, Mexico!
They ain't
And
paid one red penny.
did you see the part where the Mexican ex
Yeah,
president of Mexico
yeah, I
said,
know
"We're not
exactly
paying
what
for your fucking wall"?
Mm-hmm.
And what did he do?
I mean, this guy, it's just incredible.
But
That whole interview was just hilarious.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
I laughed and laughed and
And
laughed.
then about the COVID-19 deaths, he said, "It is what it is."
Of course, it is what it is. Because you got, once again, you got to look at apples and oranges. So you got to understand. You have
It's worse than sad.
this. It is. It
It's
would be
worse than sad.
It would be funny if it wasn't so
Can we
pathetic.
even use this word that is pathetic?
Yes, we can. But and that's why I said it would be pathetic if it wasn't so funny. It is funny because you got to also remember that his enablers, when you have the congresswoman who said that Barack Obama should step down because he had 2 people die
From Ebola.
from Ebola.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at, when they asked her about Trump, what did she say? He needs help, and we got to band together as a country and make sure that we're all doing our part. But this is the same president who ignored it, the same president who called it a hoax, the same president when he finally, what was it, last week? He said that you need to wear your mask, and then this week he said, nah, you don't need a mask.
Anyway, I want to talk about one more thing about this guy, and then I'm
Not a
going
problem.
to turn it over to you.
Not a problem, because I got a few.
In 2016, Donald Trump got 13% of the African American male vote. Black men voted for him 13%.
Yes, they did.
Now, I believe that 13% was because of sexism. I don't think they wanted a female president.
No.
Now, the top people in the GOP, according to Roland Martin, said that they're aiming to get 20% of the male, African American male vote. They know they're not getting nothing from black women. So they're aiming at black men to get 20%. Let me say this to everyone out there who's listening. It is no way in hell they getting 20% of the African American men vote. They got 13 because I think it was a female running against him. But that's not the case this time. And he's got a 3-year record of nothing but disgrace, disgust, failures, pitiful. I doubt if he get 3% of the African American male vote this time. I mean, you got crazy people everywhere. 3% is all he getting. And we got less than 90 days for the results to come.
I wish I could have that same type of steadfast faith. My problem is, and once again, we have too many dissenters in the black community who are mostly who? Men. That sit back and, I'm not voting with y'all, I'm with Trump.
I don't think that's going to be the case this time.
I think
I
it
don't
is.
think it's going to be the
There's
case this
more
time. They don't even have anything to run on. They had the economy. That's gone to hell. What do they have to run on? He's a blatant racist.
Because black
Nothing.
men,
Nothing.
Because black men will dissent.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Black men will dissent from the populace just so they could say that they dissented.
Well,
now,
we're going to have to agree to disagree on that.
But this is where the rubber meets the road. When they dissent, and then people find out that they voted for Trump, and they have to go black in those black spaces, that's when they turn around and they try to, oh man, I voted for Trump because...
Get the hell out of here.
But this is the thing. This is the problem. Every time, no matter what black men, let's be realistic, no matter what black men do, we let them right back into the groups. So that is the problem.
Like I said, we're going to have to agree to disagree because I totally disagree. And not only are they not going to get 20%,
I think he's going to get
they're not going to get 13%. I see them getting less than 5% of the vote from
I see them getting every bit at 20%. Still, but Trump is going to lose. This is the problem.
No way. Remember I said it. And remember what I said about Joe Biden winning the Democratic nomination. Everybody told me up. Oh, he's finished. Oh, he's finished. Oh, your boy Biden threw. He done lost 3 out of 4. Listen to me.
He pulled a Harry Mary, and I know he's going to win this, and I know he's going to win.
And I'm predicting again.
Oh, he's going to win.
African American men will vote for Trump less than 5%. Remember where you heard it.
Okay.
All right.
Remember. Okay, guys, y'all heard it.
You heard it
here. So when
20%,
I think it's going to get it.
You know what? I have not used profanity since we started these videos.
No, you have
months
not.
Ago, but
Nope.
I want to say something so bad.
I know you do.
But I'm not.
Go ahead, let it out. Say
I'm
fuck
not.
one time.
No,
You'll feel good inside. Go ahead.
No.
Just say it with me.
That's not
fuck.
my character.
That's
not my character.
Say it with me one time, Melvin. Come on. Fuck.
But I will say this: Donald Trump is pitiful.
He is pitiful. We passed
I will
pitiful.
say that.
Pitiful.
Let me look in the camera and say, "You are pitiful."
Pitiful is in the
And
rear
if you
view.
don't see this, please somebody tell him I said it. I know I'm a nobody, but that's just my opinion.
But see, that's the thing.
Pitiful.
We
Disgusting.
We represent a certain demographic that is saying the same things that we're saying here. It's just that they don't have a camera in front of them where they can say it. That's what makes this work for us.
Well, it is what it is.
Now,
as you quoted, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Go ahead. I'm sorry I took so long.
No. I got a couple quick ones. My first quick one is going to be this hip hop producer. His name is J.W. Lucas. J.W. Lucas got on TV because he said some disparaging things about Breonna Taylor, calling her house a trap house, and if you got a trap house and you got packages coming to your house, and what do you expect? The police are going to come to your house, and this. Let me. I'm going to get there. His name is J.W. Lucas.
I've never heard of him.
He is. Nobody's never really heard of him. He just started getting big in hip hop community. He's a white producer.
Oh,
yeah. He's white. He said this disparaging stuff.
I've never heard of him.
So he said this disparaging shit, and one of the founders of Black Lives Matter and a couple other people, he was telling them, well, I could run Black Lives Matter better than you, and I know what's out there in the streets, and I know this, and I know that.
Oh, really?
I find it amazing. Well, he said all these things, and I'm going to get your view first, and then I'm going to give my view, because before I go ahead and address you, JW, I'm going to do like my mom said, give the other person time to think when it's my turn. So
let me say
with
this.
him saying this about Breonna Taylor's death, and once again, him being a white hip hop producer, and there's a lot of since he's made these remarks, his phone has been ringing off the hook with people telling him, "Don't ever call me again in life."
Good.
But there's a lot of people who still aren't. But I'm gonna let you. So, what do you think about this?
I think he's absolutely crazy. I think that's the most ridiculous statement I ever heard. He can run Black Lives Matter better than the people who are running it now. Is this statement correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's also a white producer that said he knows more about what's important to black people than.
Well, I won't even dignify that with an answer.
He said he's more important to hip hop than any artist today.
Oh, he must be smoking that real sticky icky.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So you ready?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you.
J.W. Lucas, come on down, baby, because here's your seat at the table, and let me tell you. First and foremost, when you started talking about Breonna Taylor and called her house a trap house, did you not understand that the first warrant that they wrote, the address was supposed to be 10 miles away? Did you know that? So, 5 guys go into your house. They're wearing plain clothes. They're waving guns. You have your own pistol. What are you going to do, Joyner? Are you going to sit there and throw your hands up and say, please be the police? Joyner Lucas. For you, I find it amazing how white people have all the keys to what it takes to be black and how it feels to be black. And they have all the answers to black problems as white people. I remember when I was a kid that and this is something funny because I had a really good friend of mine. His name was Joey Various. He was an Italian kid. And his mother used to always tell us when we would go to the mall, if you go to the mall and something happens, you run to the nearest police officer. You stand with him, you stand next to him, and you make sure he knows that you need help.
Right.
You wanna know what my mom and my uncle told me when I was a kid?
What?
If something pop off, you run into the most crowded building and you stand in the middle of that crowded ass store. You don't run to no police officer because you might be the one convicted for that crime and you didn't do nothing.
Mm.
There's a difference.
That sounds like a more intelligent answer to me.
The reason why, because we're black.
Mm.
So, Joyner Lucas, for you to sit here and be so fucking tone deaf because you made some money off of a platform that you didn't devise, a platform that you didn't create, you're going to all of a sudden think that you're a producer extraordinaire and you got all the answers to everything. Joyner Lucas, you should go back and read history. Joyner Lucas, when you get finished reading that book, I want you to do something for me. I want you to grab a whole bunch of Vaseline in your hand and rub it all over the sides of that book. Now, when you get finished rubbing that book, I need you to put lots of Vaseline on that book. None on the inside, but just all over the outside. I want it to whole cover to be slathered in Vaseline and shove that motherfucker up your ass, you stupid motherfucker.
Take it easy, Larry.
Fuck you. For you to think that just because we allow you into one small part, a tiny facet of what it takes to be black, a tiny facet of what hip-hop is, a tiny facet of what we are as a people, a facet in which, and let's be realistic, that was not allowed to be played on MTV for how many years?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because you remember the first hip-hop video that came out, and people don't know this, but I remember it plainly. It was Rockbox. But actually, the first hip-hop video that came out was Blondie, and she was made that song, and she was saying that little rap at the very end of her song, and they considered it hip-hop.
Mm.
The Sugar Hill Gang wasn't allowed on MTV.
Mm.
And one of the reasons why they started allowing hip-hop, let's keep it a whole buck, my man, what's his name, who used to dress up and all that, and he was a model. He married Armand. David Bowie.
David Bowie, yeah.
David Bowie got on there and started naming off hip-hop groups that he wanted to see. And he talked about how hip-hop did not get played during the 5 to 10 hours. Time slot. Yeah. It didn't get played till around 11 to 12 time slot. And the first actual hip-hop rap group that was played on MTV was Run DMC.
All right.
Rockbox. Doom, 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 doom. I'm the king of rock. There is no higher. Remember that?
All right. You ready to move on?
But no, not quite yet, because I'm about to get off this. But
okay.
but for me to know this and for you not to know this, Joyner, it just lets me know how stupid you are. For you to think that you could run Black Lives Matter when you don't even know anything about black history.
That's a ridiculous statement.
It lets me know how far-fetched your mind goes. It is.
But don't you think you're giving him fuel by even mentioning this nonsense?
The only reason why I'm mentioning this nonsense is it's not for him. I never mention shit for the person. Right. I'm mentioning it for all the other people who are going to see this video, and they're going to look at him and say, "You said what?"
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a good answer. There you go.
So, it's never for you, J.W. Lucas, because you're so far gone, you probably snorted enough coke to sink Peru. This is for the people around you. This is for the black clowns around you who are standing there saying, "Oh, man, it's okay, man. It ain't no big deal, man." You should be ashamed. But I think that ship has sailed already. And Joyner, I hope you never find another rap group that works with you. Go fuck yourself. And you can go ahead and eat a dick.
Take it easy, baby.
I'm done.
All right.
Now, it's my turn. I got two.
You got two. Yeah. Go ahead.
This second one, it's one of those ones. Once again, I hate to have to hit my own people. Herman Cain, come on. Come on over here and have a seat.
Wait a minute now. The man has passed away. What can you possibly say about Herman Cain? Mr. 999. Come on, Larry.
Herman Cain.
All right, I'm listening. I'm going to listen, but I don't know what you could possibly say.
Let me clear my throat. Herman Cain. Herman Cain was a Republican. Was it Republican senator?
No, he ran for president.
Yeah, he did run for president. Lost miserably.
Well, no, he did. He did fairly well, considering. I mean, for a brief moment, he was the front runner. I said a brief moment, but he was. I mean,
a very light speed brief. Herman Cain. I hate to speak ill of the dead. I am never a fan of doing that.
Well, don't do it.
Oh no, fuck that. Truth gotta come out. Yeah, fuck that. You had to go to that Trump rally, didn't you?
Oh yeah, in Oklahoma.
You had, Tulsa. He had no compunctions about Black Wall Street. I'm going straight there, and I'm going to support my president.
He was there. He was sitting right up there
with about 6 or 7 other people who I hope had been tested. And you went without a mask, didn't you? Because you wanted,
surely did.
Because you wanted to prove a point that mask don't mean shit. Fuck a mask. I ain't gotta wear no mask. I'm Herman Cain.
Mr. 999.
Mr. 999. Now he's Mr. Dead.
Oh, Larry, don't do it.
Hell no. My God, I keep telling you. I keep telling all you. My God has a sense of humor.
Wait, can I say something real quick?
Sure, please.
Rest in peace, Herman Cain.
Yes, rest in peace. Rest in peace. It's never well when I hear of a black man that died. But in this case, you wanted to prove you was down with Trumpy.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Trumpy, it's all a hoax, ain't it, Herman? Now you passed. Now you have learned a lesson that a lot of people who did believe that this is not a hoax, a lot of people who did try to do the right things, a lot of first responders who were wearing their masks, a lot of nurses who did do the right thing, a lot of bus drivers, a lot of mail carriers, a lot of teachers, a lot of people who had consistently listened to the government. And they died because they took the advice of what their leadership was telling them.
Donald Trump.
But Herman Cain, you knew better. And you still showed up in that rally.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Without a mask.
That was a mistake.
A mistake? That was a choice.
That was a mistake.
That was not a mistake. That was a choice. He made the choice to go to that rally and sit damn near in the front row and not have his mask on with the rest of his cronies.
Well, it sure wasn't a lot of people there, so.
It was enough of that disease slid through that whole damn crowd, didn't it?
It's sad.
You sit here and you are so much of a Republican that you will work against your own best interest in protecting yourself. And everybody sits back and wants me to be a nice guy about it. If you drank poison, am I not supposed to laugh? If you're in a room and they tell you that you could possibly die from a disease in that room, if you don't make sure that you cover up, am I not supposed to laugh about it?
You definitely cover some tough topics. I will, because I would have never said anything like that. You definitely, you don't shy away from.
No, I do not.
Controversial topics.
No, I do not.
We don't look at each other's topics before we start.
No, we do not.
We very rarely do.
No, we do.
Trying to get my own stuff together.
No, we do not.
And
that's why he looks at me. And that's why he looks at me funny when he hears my topic. That's why you see the look when you. This is not an act, folks.
No, it's not. And I just
when you see him make those faces and tell me to calm down, this is genuine. There is nothing disingenuous about our show.
I mean, Herman Cain his family is still here. I mean, the man is.
You know what? I would have more respect for him if he was one of those people who did everything right and still passed away.
Right.
For you to go, once again, my reasoning is valid.
Yeah,
he went
been
there
He should
to
have
the
been
Tulsa.
there. And if he did go, he should have had a mask on.
So at what point in this am I wrong?
When you in a public place like that with a few thousand people, because that's all it was.
6,900.
Yeah, that's all. 67. That's all it was.
67. Okay, even better.
And 1.3 million was supposed to RSVP, but we're not going to talk about that.
The overdraft in the back where they had to take down the whole back draw. But I'm sorry. No, if you purposely showed up to a place where the possibility, if a person told you there are poisonous snakes in that room if you go in that room.
No, I'm not going in there.
If somebody tell you, if you walk in that room and you take deep breaths, there's a high probability you could die.
Did you think he want to prove a point, or what was he?
Of course, him and everybody around him. And then what makes it more hilarious, and once again,
well, not hilarious, but
the woman who was sitting right next to him in the picture said that it was a planned attack. That is hilarious. Come on, who planned that attack? Trump, because he was the one who had y'all sign those waivers. He was the one who had y'all in that room.
Yeah.
He's the one who didn't get sick while everybody else is starting to come up sick. And who was one of the people who happened to pass away from it? Herman Cain.
Sad.
All you had to do
was not go.
Even if you went, wear a mask, social distance, move yourself in the upper rafters.
Because it was a lot of room. That's for sure.
But since you take it upon yourself not to do what the professionals tell you to do, you take it upon yourself not to follow the science, then I take it upon myself to think it's funny and think I should laugh a little bit.
All right. Let me grab the next one real quick.
Go ahead.
And then, all right. I want to talk about Mr. Biden and his selection for vice president, because he was supposed to make his decision this week. We're now at Tuesday or Wednesday, and still nothing yet. But they didn't say if he was going to announce who he selected or if he was going to make the decision privately. But he did say this week. I heard it with my own ears. So, again, my top candidate is Kamala Rice. And my second choice, which I didn't...
Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris, I'm sorry. And my second choice, in which I hadn't made one, is Miss Rice, Susan Rice. And I know you a big Stacey Abrams fan.
I'm still on Stacey Abrams.
So my top two
Kamala
picks
Harris.
are Harris and Rice.
My top two picks is Stacey Abrams.
That's your first pick, Stacey Abrams?
Yes, and my second pick is Kamala Harris.
Okay.
I'm thinking that with Stacey Abrams, by all stretch of the imagination, Stacey Abrams should be the governor of Georgia right now, which would have drastically changed the landscape in Georgia right now.
Right.
I think that Stacey Abrams has proven that she is a big time player in the political field.
She is.
She knows
absolutely.
her way. She knows how to swim.
I definitely don't want people to think I'm anti Stacey Abrams, because I'm not.
She definitely knows.
I just think this platform is too big for her.
I don't think it is. I think she's able to swim with sharks. I think she's able to do the job. I think she would be. I think in a debate against Mike Pence, she's going to embarrass him.
Do you think he's going to keep Pence as his VP?
Of course he is.
Okay. Well, a lot of people are speculating that since Biden is picking a woman, when the GOP convention comes, he's going to come out with a shock, and Pence is out, and he's going to pick Nikki Haley or somebody else.
If he picks Nikki Haley or anybody else, both women, Stacey Abrams and Kamala Harris. See, the thing about it, I think in a debate, this is where Kamala Harris is going to really shine and come out on top. Because her being a former prosecutor, I think she has the tools where she's going to come out swinging. And she had Jeff Sessions sitting in his seat. You got to give me a second. You kind of caught me off guard.
Did you see where Biden had on his notes Don't hold grudges. I love that.
Amen.
I swear, if I didn't laugh for 2 minutes straight, I love that.
Oh, but I was
and a photographer caught it, and zoomed in on it in his notes. Don't hold grudges. That's from when she got on him about busing in the debates.
Yeah, she got on him hard time.
Yeah,
too.
Kamala Harris, she tore him up that first debate.
Because she's one of those type of people where
she's ruthless.
She's a pit bull.
Yes, I love it. I love her.
That's why she would be great as a VP.
I think
and
so.
Even better as a president.
Then when the reporter asked her, well, what about when you jumped all over Biden? She said, it's a debate, fool.
Exactly. So
I don't know if she said fool.
Are we supposed
it's a debate. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Are we supposed to play nice in the debate?
That's right.
Did I miss a meeting?
That's right.
Yeah. So, that's
But the reporter's whole point was, why would he select you when you did that to him, denigrated him, and that's exactly why he should select her.
The thing about it,
because she's ruthless.
You got to remember when Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama was going at it in their debates, and their debates was real. They got.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask you about Susan Rice. Now, he's got more. Biden. When I say Biden has more of a personal relationship with Rice, because you got to understand he worked with her for 8 years.
But you also,
and they were at meetings together, conferences. So he knows her on a more personal level. So don't think she out of it.
No, I'm not saying she's out of it at all.
Don't think she out of it.
She's a great.
And she got a lot of foreign policy experience.
Yes, she does. But my thing is that when Barack Obama picked Joe Biden to be his VP, they did not have a well-established relationship.
Right. Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They forged that relationship for 8 years of hard work and
That's
trial by fire. But you have to remember, Joe Biden, when he got on the ticket and became VP, they was like getting to know each other
I
through
agree.
the process.
I agree.
So it doesn't necessarily
but
have to be.
I also always I listen between the lines too. When people speak, you need to listen. Biden said that his VP, he's got to be very comfortable with her. That's what he said. He said it's got to be a comfortable relationship, the same way I had with President Obama. So that's telling me, it's not 100%, but that's telling me that, just opposite of what you just said. It's probably somebody he's going to have and I'm going to tell you somebody else he close to. It's Elizabeth Warren. Don't think she out either.
I think she's out.
I don't
she
think
already
so.
said she's already said she's going to bow out gracefully.
No, she didn't. I have not heard that.
Yes, she did. She said.
Show it to me. I have not heard that.
After we're done, I would be more than happy to show it to you. But that's what she said. She told him.
They've been friends for over 20 years.
Yeah, for over 20 years. Yeah, that's why she told him, "I'm gonna bow out this, and you should get a black woman."
Are you speaking about the lady from Minnesota?
The woman from Minnesota said it, but then Elizabeth Warren said it also.
I didn't hear that. Yeah. I didn't hear that.
That's why there's nothing left. That's why nothing else has been said about Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. So I think it's a lot of long shots out there, like Lance Bottoms, the governor from Michigan.
Yeah, it would be too much for Lance Bottoms.
The congressman from Florida. Val Dennings.
I like Val Dennings. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm telling you, I think it's down to Harris and Rice.
I think it's down to Harris, and I think it's down to Abrams because he brought her out.
I don't think Abrams is even in it, but that's just my opinion.
He brought her out in a conversation when he was having that town hall, virtual town hall, and she came out smiling, laughing, talking, and they were asking her, "Well, are you the pick?" And she was playing coy.
Now let me ask you this: what do you think Biden's cabinet is going to look like?
The thing about this is what's going to be funny.
I guarantee you, it won't look like Trump's cabinet.
Well, you got to remember that.
I guarantee you.
Well, you got to remember that Trump has so many offices still unfilled in his cabinet. There's so many people. This
administration is just a total flop.
He's literally fired all the watchdog agencies. He got rid of Colonel Vindman. He's gotten rid of all the people.
But when they were walking over to Lafayette Park, and he had all his administrative people with him, that did not look like America to me. It just didn't.
First and foremost, you
got all white men.
Not only that, you had military shooting tear gas and rubber bullets
I mean-
spreading the crowd out to prove a point. That whole photo op was to prove a point.
I don't know what point.
The point he was trying to move is that if I tell y'all to move, y'all better move. That was his point.
Ooh, if you tell me to do what?
But the thing about it is, he's not man enough to do it himself, so he's going to get a whole bunch of National Guard and police officers to do it.
Yeah. Or people without insignia on their shoulder.
Over in Portland, yep, there you go.
Yep. But I think beyond the VP pick that his administration will be very diverse.
It'll be very diverse.
I think it'll look like America looks.
Not only,
I think you will have Hispanics in his administration, Asians, women, African Americans, and that's what it should be. If you're representing the United States, your cabinet should look like the United States.
But you have to understand, once again, this is the thing. You're looking at a good old boys club that had put everything.
Well, they need to stop that crap.
But they put everything on Front Street. All those Republicans had put. They said no matter what, we're putting party over country. We're putting party over everything. We're going to allow this president to do whatever he wants. Exactly. And when they lose, this is the thing.
And they're going to lose the Senate.
And my favorite news announcer.
Watch.
Oh, they're going to lose the Senate, definitely. But my favorite.
Well, not definitely, but I think it's going to happen.
Oh, no, it's definite. It's a definite. It's a definite because two of the main people that holds power in that Senate are up to their neck Senate. Moscow Mitch is up to his neck because he has that female.
The latest poll said that they took a poll in Kentucky of 700 voters, and Moscow Mitch got a huge lead.
He got a huge lead.
The female only has 34%, and Moscow Mitch is killing her right now.
He's killing her right now, but this is the thing. Moscow Mitch's approval rating has stayed at around 32% for the whole state of Kentucky.
Well,
the reason why he's looking like
they
he's
still
leading,
got 90 days.
The reason why
the
reason why it looks like he's winning so heavily is because
I don't know what 700 people they found
he gerrymanders his whole thing. But I think that I'm keeping my faith that Kentucky is going to.
I hope so.
I'm thinking
unseat them, Kentucky. Come on, you can do it.
Louisville,
where you at?
I'm keeping my faith that they're going to unseat him, and they're going to tell him, "You made enough money on us," because one of the poorest places in the United States is where? Kentucky. So we'll see what happens. The other person, Lindsey Graham, your ass is up in the fire. That brother is going all over South Carolina.
I hope so.
And he's putting in work. But you got to understand, Moscow Mitch has $1 billion machine behind him. He's putting out.
Yeah, he's got money. They say that this Senate race is going to be the richest in history. Both of them putting up $16 million. That's huge for a Senate race.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous money.
Yeah.
But I really think the Senate overall is in play, and I think we'll hold the Congress and gain seats. And we'll pick up the executive branch. If that happens, I'm gonna go out in the middle of the street in my house and just turn flips all the way down the street, just flipping.
I'm gonna tell you, if that happens, I'm
gonna get some champagne and I'm gonna just drink it and celebrate like I won the NBA championship.
You gonna be spraying people?
Yes, you think I ain't?
Look, yeah.
Because that means, think about that. The world is going to change for the better.
The world's going to change in a lot of ways.
Supreme Court justices,
but in a lot of ways,
dignity and respect will come back to this nation from abroad.
But in a lot of ways,
you won't have leaders from around the world in a circle at a conference laughing at the president of the United States. They got it on camera. But they got the open mic. They laughing at this fool.
But the problem is that what's mainly going to happen.
All that's going to change.
What's mainly going to happen is the Republicans. What they're going to do is they're going to change their tactics yet again.
Whatever.
They're going to sit back and they're going to try.
Huge mistake.
They're going to try and
electing Donald Trump.
They're going to be hypocritical and they're going to call foul on everything they can call foul on.
Let them.
That's what they've been doing. That's what they're going to do.
And let me tell you something. This time, if we get all three branches, we need to put through whatever we want to put through. The hell with them.
Well, you got to remember, for the first year, we're going to have to reverse all the stuff that Trump did.
Do it.
So
mine is ready.
So I'm going to get on to my subject. My subject, you have this idiot. His name is Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's
who?
This rapper who snitched on his whole crew to avoid jail. He was a guy who went to jail in New York for racketeering, attempted murder, and he was facing 47 years. Turned around and said, "Forget it." Snitched on everybody everybody he was dealing with, and he got out a few months ago.
Right.
So he's now.
You know, somebody mentioned that about the difference between me and you. Somebody at work told me that they like the way you tackle more issues in the mainstream, cultural issues, and that I tackle strictly politics,
Right.
They like the difference.
Well, that's the strong suit because I can effectively.
Yeah, you love cultural stuff.
I love cultural stuff.
Rappers and pop and rock and roll.
Just anything that catches my attention.
You watch a lot of Entertainment Tonight.
No. No.
Well, just let it go. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I watch a lot of news and I watch a lot of entertainment news, so I pick up a lot of stuff.
That's what I said. E.T.
No.
You don't watch E.T.?
I don't watch some damn E.T.
Okay, all right.
But this guy, what's funny about this, he already has a bullseye on his back because
what's his name again?
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
6ix9ine.
He already has a bullseye on his back because he snitched.
Is that the one that was married to?
No.
Oh.
He was.
You know who I'm talking about though. No. His name is just straight 6ix9ine.
No.
And he was married to the girl that used to go with 50 Cent. I can't think of her name.
Well, what happened with?
But anyway, that's probably somebody different.
What happened with this guy? So this guy snitched on his whole crew in New York.
Okay.
Now, one of the things that you know in New York is that you don't snitch.
No
snitching. Just like it's anywhere else. Well, he snitched.
And definitely there.
Well, he snitched. He moved back to New York because he got offered a $10 million record deal. Mm-hmm. And so he's been trying to put out music, and he's put out one music, and then he kind of disappeared. And now he's making a video for something, riding around in Lamborghinis and stuff like that. He has tons of security around him. So most of his money is going to security because they know that if he catch him anywhere by himself, if he get caught anywhere by himself, he's pretty much a dead duck.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep it easy. Tekashi, nobody cares about your music. Nobody cares about you. You claim to be such a tough guy in the blood, and you claim to be this, and you claim to be that. When you snitched on everybody, you claim to turn around and say, it's not my fault I snitched, it's everybody else's fault. I just want you to go away. I just want you to disappear. You should be one of the quietest people on this planet, but instead, you're still thinking that everything's a game. I feel sorry for your mom because I know at some point something's going to catch up to you because it always does. That's how New York works. Well,
that's New York hometown. You ought to know.
New York is built on consequences. New York is built on consequences. They're either good consequences or bad consequences. And for him, unfortunately, it's all negative. It's all negative. And for you to try and sit out there and act like you riding around in Lamborghinis and you sitting on the hood and they're going to catch you. And when they catch you, it's going to be over. So I would think that you would do the smart thing and you would lay low and keep your mouth shut. But no, you wouldn't. So whatever happens to you, man, good luck. Hey, you want to play tough, you have to learn the hard way. So good luck.
All right, I just got one more thing I want to discuss, and I'm ready to go to final thought.
Okay.
I want to talk
about. I got one more too.
I just want to talk about some of the feedback that we have been getting, and it's been a lot. And a couple of things that people are heavy mentioning is Kanye West and is it Terry Crews? I mean, they are saying you were smoking on them. So, are you getting any feedback or what?
I got some good feedback. I got some negative feedback. I had some people that tell me I went too far with Kanye West. I had some people tell me that Terry Crews isn't that bad. I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. I really don't care. I literally don't care. I don't care.
So you still don't think that Kanye is a good person? He just needs some mental help.
I think Kanye is the embodiment of bullshit.
Okay. That's all I wanted to clear up.
My problem with Kanye is going to be the same Kanye because,
I mean, a lot of people agree with you.
I'm going to say this and then I'm going to leave it alone because fuck Kanye. I'm still on that. Fuck Kanye. But my thing is, Have we heard anything else about Kanye in his presidential election?
Nothing.
Have we heard anything else?
And he wasn't registered to run for president.
And have we heard anything else about, other than his wife went up to Wyoming to go see him, and while they were sitting in Burger King, they were taking pictures of her. You used to be a foundation in hip hop. Kanye was about to become a cornerstone in hip hop. A cornerstone for black people in hip hop.
I mean, it's about 50-50. A lot of people come up to me, they agree with you, and some people just say you're way off because the man has a mental problem, and we need to sympathize with people with mental health issues, and you went too far. So it's about 50-50.
So I'm going to say this one more time.
Oh boy!
And I'm going to go ahead and fix my mic so I can make sure that everybody hears me. If Kanye has real mental problems, Kanye has $1 billion. Kanye can get all the help he needs. Kanye can sit back and go anywhere in the world and get help. He can go to Switzerland. He can go to Germany. He can go anywhere in this world and get all the help he needs because he is a billionaire. So why should I give two fucks about Kanye's mental status when there are plenty of people who don't have the money that Kanye has that still needs their help and they can't get it? If Kanye is off his meds, then get him a fucking nurse who gives a fuck, because I don't.
All right. Okay, we're going to move on. All right.
Now,
I'm going to let you
my last one, and then I'll be ready for my final thought, is Trump.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You hitting some politics. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Larry.
So, Trump is still fighting with all the schools.
As far as opening. Okay.
Now, Trump is still telling the people, if you don't have your kid in school, we're going to give away funding, even though that funding is only
going to do nothing.
Even though Congress has earmarked that funding for schools, and he had to go through Congress to block the funding, which he can't do. Two, most importantly, the COVID-19 has been surging in all these different countries, in all these different states, and they're talking about whether the kids have a less chance of catching it. Whether the kids catch it or not, it could be horrible for the children. Three, and most importantly, I'm going to go ahead and get close to this mic one more time because, this is the important part. Trump, where's Barron going to go to school at? Is Barron going to be in a public school?
Larry, I don't think we should say anything about his kids now.
No, I'm not going to say nothing negative about Barron himself. I'm talking about Trump.
Right. I got you.
I could say fuck Trump all day.
That's right.
Now, so if Barron, your son, is not going to a public school, as a matter of fact, did you know that it was on CNN that they were going to send his son, that the private school that they're supposed to send his son to, said that they're not going to open.
They're going to do virtual.
Their classes are going to be what?
Online.
Say it one more time.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Online. Yeah.
But you want to fill up schools with everybody else's children.
And DeVos, too. Don't forget about her. Betsy DeVos.
She's just a puppet because she means nothing. She's a puppet. But you're going to fill up those schools with everybody else's family members, their kids, who can possibly bring those diseases home to their grandparents or their parents. You're going to fill up these schools with babies who can possibly catch those diseases and possibly die, especially if those babies have any type of immunodeficiency.
So think the teachers should be 100% online, all schools? No, maybe one day go to school and then the other 4.
If the virus is surging in those states, why send your kid to school?
Okay. I agree.
Kids are tribal.
I'm with you.
They get next to each other. Kids are not going to think about, I got to maintain a safe distance. Right. They're going to do what kids do.
And they're not going to have enough staff to enforce that.
And even then, let's talk about the staff. Why this orange motherfucker is so trying to send them. How many teachers are going to have issues with it? How many teachers might have the immunodeficiencies?
Yeah.
How many teachers principals, janitors, food people.
Yeah.
How many of all this staff are going to have problems that we're going to ignore because Trump wants it to feel like everything's okay?
Yeah. And it's not.
And it's definitely
It's
not.
not.
But
I
when
mean,
the question,
I understand
but then,
what he's saying.
but this is my problem.
But he's wrong
But-
because it's too soon.
But if
Maybe in January.
if
Maybe
you
in
wanna-
February.
If you want to make a point, send your son to a private school then. If you feel like it's so safe,
Send your son to a school that's going
a
back
public
to,
school.
Yeah.
There's several schools right around in the DC area, not too far from the White House.
Yeah.
Send your son to a public school.
I
So
got you.
if you have any reservations, and just like all those other Republicans, if you have any reservations about sending your own child in there, why the hell should I send my fucking kid?
There you go. I feel you on that.
So when you sit here and you talk about if you don't send your kids to school, I'm going to take away their funding.
He ain't gonna do nothing.
No, he gonna try. But the problem is that whole time, guess where they're gonna be filming your son? In his room, working from home.
Yeah. Safely.
Safely.
Yeah.
So save all that righteous outrage bullshit. Save all that fake outrage. Save all that blustering and talking tough. Save all that. It's better for kids if they go to school. Because Betsy DeVos's grandkids ain't going to be sitting in no public school. Betsy DeVos, all her grandkids are going to be in private schools.
Or charter schools. That's her
Or
big thing. Charter schools.
Not even charter schools. They're going to be in private schools. You know, all her kids went to private schools and went on to college from there. So I don't want to. I'm not going to sit here and mix words.
Yeah.
You're going to turn around and tell somebody to do something that you're not willing to do
For your own children.
for your own children.
I got you. I feel you on that. I got you.
So that's my thought on that, and I'm
Okay.
ready for the last thought.
All right, here's my last thought. It's a two-parter. It's going to be about 20% about Trump and him wanting to delay the election.
I was going to talk about that, but I left it alone.
I mean, first of all, you don't have the authority to delay the election.
Yeah,
The
you learned that the
Constitution
hard
has
way.
been around long before you and I were born,
Amen.
and it's going to be around long after we're gone.
Amen.
You do not have the authority to delay an election for president. The only reason you want to delay it because you know you're getting your butt kicked.
Amen.
That's the problem right there. What do you need? More time to sprout more lies?
no, he's
No,
hoping that
the election
economy-
is not going to be delayed. And November 3rd, you're going to be voted out of office. And that's all I got to say about that. And the
Damn.
second part of my final thought is vote, vote, vote. Register and vote is very important. Very important. And for African American men, you have no reason to vote for Donald Trump. None.
You would think so.
None whatsoever.
There's so many
Don't
that
listen
are.
to me. Please don't listen to me. Just look at his record for the last 3 years.
Amen.
How he hates black people. He despises black people. He don't have to say it. His record proves it. Everything Barack Obama did in 8 years, he's trying to reverse it.
Yep.
Especially health care.
Yep.
He's trying to he threw out the pandemic playbook. Threw it out because Obama and his team wrote it. That's the only reason.
Exactly.
Just threw it in the trash. Now he don't have no strategy, no playbook. We got 160,000 people dead and it's getting worse.
Yep.
Please do not vote for this man.
Amen.
I'm speaking to African American men. Do not vote for him. Look at his record.
There you go.
He wants to get 20% of you all to vote for him. That's a bunch of BS.
Yes, it is.
He should get zero.
He should.
Zero. Not one African American man should vote for this man. Not one.
We're going to have to learn the hard way.
All right, that's my final thought.
Okay, hold on a second.
All right, Larry,
So-
your final thought.
So my final thought is white fragility. Now,
Wait a minute. Say that again.
White fragility.
Fragility.
Yes. That is a fragile ego or mind state.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I'm talking about white fragility, we have Mr. Tom Cotton, who was talking about slavery being taught in schools because the next year's curriculum they want to add the 1619 project.
Okay.
That talked about slavery. Well, Tom Cotton doesn't like that because he says that slavery was a necessary evil.
Now, who is Tom Cotton?
Tom Cotton is he's a Republican. He's a Republican congressman.
Okay.
And he just did not like the 1619 project. He said that it did not give it painted a stark and harsh reality to the American fabric.
Oh, okay.
And because it was such a stark and harsh reality, that teaching our kids this is not going to help relations, but is going to create a distance.
Okay.
And that he said, like I said before, that he felt like slavery was a necessary evil. And it's funny because the author of the 1619 Project said, if that is what you would call a necessary evil, I would hate to think what you would call if slavery would have continued.
Okay, let me just interrupt you for a point. He's a senator from Arkansas. Tom Cotton.
Perfect.
All right.
So,
United States Senator from the great state of Arkansas.
Dear Tom, do you not understand that because we do not talk about slavery is why one of the main reasons why we have Black Lives Matter, why we have all the issues that we have right now? Do you not understand that because slavery is not being taught in its entirety is why black people consistently have a gripe with the education system? If we were to teach slavery in its completeness, what would we have to argue about?
So you don't agree with Mr. Cotton?
I completely disagree with Mr. Cotton.
And so you don't think they should?
I think that they should teach the 1619 Project.
Right.
I think they should talk about everything that encompasses slavery.
Right.
They should talk about everything that encompasses Jim Crow. If February is supposed to be Black History Month, let us teach Black history. Let's not try to sugarcoat it. Let's not try to beat around the bush.
So Mr. Cotton don't want to teach.
He doesn't want to teach.
Why?
Because he feels as though it would paint a negative light over United States history.
First of all, what is it to him? And second of all, history is history. And you need to know your history.
Once again, and this is why
I'm not trying to interrupt your final thought, but you need to know your history.
I'm glad you did, because see, this is the thing. That's why white fragility is so important, because if you didn't have such a fragile ego, would you even care? You would probably be more apt to say, teach it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know what exactly happened.
They should know.
And instead, you're trying to fight against it. Instead of you doing the right thing by black people, because let's be honest, we built this fucking country on our back.
And built the White House.
And built
the Capitol.
And what's funny, I don't even think Tom Cotton knows that. Did you know, Tom, when slaves used to escape and head to Canada, that George Washington used to use the 1st Cavalry unit to go after them, pick them up, and bring them back? And when he brought them back, he would beat them relentlessly. Did you know? Did you know, Tom Cotton, that there's a such thing as a slave maker? Because, slaves can't just be brought from Africa straight to the U.S. and then they are ready to become slaves. No, they have to have their spirit broken, which is why Willie Lynch doctrine was an important part of slavery. Did you know that there was a such thing as a slave Bible, Mr. Cotton?
Boy, you going deep.
So the slave Bible had all the things that talked about David and Goliath, all the different wars that was fought in the Bible, they were removed. And the only thing that was in the Bible was stuff that was to keep them really calm, keep them subservient, letting them believe submissive. So let them believe that they would even if they didn't get freedom and they ended up dying in the service of the slave master, they was going to go to heaven. They wouldn't give them a real Bible. They wouldn't allow them to read anything. They wouldn't allow them to have a name. This is why black people to this day are running around insane, because we don't know where we came from. We don't know who we are. We don't know who our language is. We don't even know what our lineage is because that was completely taken away from us. So for you to sit here and tell us that it was a necessary evil, that all this hate, all this horrific stuff that is still permeating through to today, the colorisms between black and black people, the crimes that happen between black people, the hatred, the self-loathing, the self-hatred, the color hatred. But for you to say that all that was a necessary evil in the service of creating a more perfect union?
He's crazy.
Not only are you crazy, but you are completely out of your fucking mind. So to all these people who will look at this video...
Nothing about slavery was necessary to create a more perfect union.
Please,
that's the most stupidest thing I ever heard.
Please say it again for the people in the cheap seats.
Nothing about slavery was to make a more perfect union.
But for you to sit back and believe that we're supposed to just get over it, the same thing that y'all been telling us all our lives, when we know that when we got over it in Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, what did y'all do? Y'all destroyed it, killed over 300 people down to every man, woman, and child. When we got over it in Rosewood and we created a great community, what did y'all do? Y'all rode in with torches and burned down every building. When we got over it and we was part of the Central Park, and we had, actually before it was called Central Park, there was a lot of black people that was living there, well affluent black people. What did y'all do? Y'all burned it down and made room for it so it could be called Central Park. So you have to remember when Malcolm X said it is a cruel thing to tell black people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps when they have no boots. So you demonstrate time and time again why if we don't know our history, we're always doomed to repeat it. Tom, I could cuss you out. I could tell you how stupid you are.
That's not necessary.
I could tell you how big your fucking forehead is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a page from my grandmother. And I'm going to let this situation sink in on you. Because right now, they are the people are at your door. And they're beating it down. Because you said some very stupid shit.
Yeah, I bet he's catching some flack for that.
Oh, not only is he catching flack, they are sitting back. There's a lot of Republican senators that are looking at him like, you might want to go ahead and walk away from this.
Yeah. So you might want to backtrack that.
Oh, he's doubling and tripling down.
That's crazy.
But my thing is, before you speak about black issues, you might want to go ahead and have that one black friend talk to you first. And that's my final thought.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, thank you.
We love doing the show. We're going to continue doing the videos. We love your participation. We love your comments, emails. When you stop us on the street, when you stop us at work, we love it. Because what you do and say fuels us to continue this.
Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
Thank you so much. We love you.
Thank you. Bye.